About a year ago, the people over at OBSBOT reached out to sponsor a video about the Tail 2. I had previously covered the Tiny 2, I believe is what it was called. Or the Tail Air. Well, I'd covered the Tiny 2 and the Tail. I've covered a few of their webcams at this point. I've put them around my studio, had them track me, and it's been phenomenal. And the Tail 2 is the big brother, the bigger, the upgraded camera. This video is sponsored by OBSBOT. You can get the Tail 2 on sale for 21% off here during the Amazon Prime Day week, whatever time period. You can use the links in the description below to get it either on their website, an authorized dealer, or on Amazon for 16% off. And then I have a special coupon code that gets you another 5% off, making 21% off total. Huge discount on this amazing camera, limited time. All those links in the description below, as well as the codes, and thank you to OBSBOT for sponsoring this video. This thing features a 4.6 to 23mm hybrid zoom lens, which can actually go up to 12x zoom with some digital funkiness after the fact. And you are watching on my phone here. We have a variety of controls for this camera, including full PTZ-R control. So we can turn the camera, move it up and down, do all that kind of jazz. You have control over the speed here, but of course it can start tracking you. It can also, there we go, we can reset it. We have manual controls over exposure and color and things like that. So I've got manual ISO, manual shutter speed, exposure compensation down there if I want. Autofocus control. We have exposure curve controls if I want to get real funky with it, if I don't want to do anything in post. I've got color styles. So sharpness, contrast, saturation, hue, brightness, all that kind of normal stuff. White balance is currently set to auto. But then of course we have, you can move it manually and that's fine. But then we have tracking. Double tap, track a person or an animal. All right, I'm gonna go over here now. See you later. Bye. Oh wait, no, never mind. I left something over here. Bye. Why would you keep a webcam? Why would you want a webcam that just stays in one place? If you have a space, if you're not at a desk, which is kind of the angle I'm gonna go for with this setup. I want another angle that I can just walk up to and start talking to. I want it to be able to just move with me. If I'm like, all right, never mind. I need to go show my camera over here, start getting some B-roll, start shooting some stuff. Show you this book. Ted Forbes, Art of Photography YouTube channel, great stuff. Things are still a mess, I'm still picking up. I've been catching up all month on my reviews and sponsored things and whatever. This thing is sick. So I mentioned that they reached out a year ago to sponsor it and sent me this camera. And I've been sitting on it the whole time. And ooh boy, do I feel like I wasted time not having actually used this thing for this past year. This is incredible. I don't know if they're sponsoring this video at this point in time. I'll put obviously proper disclaimers if they are, but like, that was a year ago. The plan was for me to put this in my workshop, which I had started renovating to start doing more maker videos because I was doing a few maker videos at the time. The problem is, I'm just continuing to demo the tracking here. The problem is, immediately after finishing my second to last maker project, we decided to retrieve my wife's childhood wooden bed from their family's storage unit and refinish it, which sand, stain, all that jazz. And a lot of the parts needed stored in the shed for a couple months while I was working on that for my kiddo's birthday. And once I got that done, it was midsummer and I just never got back to it. But I actually think I want this in the studio instead. I don't think I need to be followed. My workshop is just a tiny little shed. In here, I can move all over the place. And this thing is just gonna follow me. The image quality out of this one is beautiful. I loved the Tail Air, but this one has bigger glass, bigger sensor, much nicer image, and the tracking is much improved. I enjoyed the tracking on the Tail Air, but this one is doing a much better job of just following me around. The one thing I do want to test is if I go off camera, if I just bail, bye, I'm not on camera anymore, it has lost me, it's flashing to indicate that, and then it has picked me back up. I don't think the Tail Air could do that, at least not as reliably. Like, this is bananas. If I just... What? Crazy. And then, of course, I don't even think I've touched the zoom yet. Let me back up here. Can I... What's the zoom? There we go. Getting the zoom action going. Going up to the 12 times... Oh my gosh. 12 times hybrid zoom. What? Oh, cat cam. And it's still tracking me while it's doing it, which is crazy. So like whatever angle, whatever it is you are trying to film, this thing is really not gonna struggle. We could get some like dolly zoom effect going on here. That was wild. This thing's expensive. It's not cheap. There's no getting around that, but if you are looking for event coverage, band concert coverage, performance coverage, on-stage presentation coverage, this is the kind of thing you should be investing in rather than a mirrorless like photography hybrid camera or a traditional webcam. The manual control or the auto tracking are both great. It can track animals, people, groups of people now. It's got connectivity options out the wazoo, so it's USB powered. It has USB video output for webcam mode, HDMI video output, and I believe SDI video output for video capture. It's got Ethernet as well as a variety of network recording streaming options supported. SRT, NDI, that kind of stuff. And then it has a micro SD card slot on board for recording locally in H.264 or H.265 in 4K up to what I saw was 50 frames per second. It might go higher in a different recording mode. I have it like in the max mode, so I'm just doing 30 frames per second here because that's what I do most of my videos in. I don't see how I'm not just using this for all of my videos moving forward. I've got webcams and cameras and teleprompters set up in all sorts of places. I'm working on establishing this year as little friction as possible when it comes to making my videos, making my art, making my movies, whatever. And I want to be able to just be in my space, record, and have no problems. This is my permanent angle for right here, so it can just follow me around. I've got a teleprompter set up over here that's coming in another video. The only thing that I think I need to nail down next is audio. The audio out of this microphone is fine, not as great as I would like. I am investing in a better type of lab system that's gonna cost significantly more. But I think it's time. I think this is going to be the year of the most friction-free recording system I have ever done. I'm testing getting very up close, staring down the camera. I feel like I'm staring at a robot. I don't know what the minimum focus distance is. It is now the next day, and I wanted to just kind of note that I was messing around with this again, left it, went inside my house to use the bathroom, do some other things for about 30 minutes, came back in, and this thing was still tracking me. I was walking through the studio and noticed it was still following me, still watching me right there, which is interesting because I had manually quit the app on my phone. And the app is what does most of the controlling and keeps it going. It looks like there's a pretty decent timeout period from the point where it loses connection with the app and the tracking things stop functioning. This is really neat because it means that you're not as dependent on the app and that it doesn't need to be running all the time to control you. Obviously, if there's no outputs going, if it's not recording or whatever, and there's no connection to the app, then it's gonna time out to save on battery and to put itself to sleep and whatever. But the fact that it's working is pretty impressive. The only, I have one complaint. The complaint is that there is no filter thread on the lens. I was actually kind of disappointed about this. I can't put my typical lens filters on there, which I think would help a fair bit with some of the cool lights and stuff I have going on. Like for example, if I throw this on here, look at the lights in the background. Boom. That one's pretty dramatic. That one's like more of an intense one. If I throw, that was Cine Gold. If I do Black Pro Mist 1/4, that's a little better. I think, like, I would like that stylistically. Long term, assuming I don't think it's gonna break the motors, I'm probably gonna glue rather, a 82mm filter thread onto it somehow, just on the outside of it. That way I can put the threads on, but I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, so this is the OBSBOT Tail 2. I'm super late to the party, and I am okay with that. This thing is incredible, and if you can get your hands on it, I can't imagine an argument not for it, other than making sure you have the budget and it's appropriate for your uses. I would not use this as a desk necessarily, unless you get up from your desk a lot. But if you plan on being in a space, and especially if you don't have a camera operator, this is it. I need a second one of these for the other half of the studio. Maybe even one for outside. I don't know yet, but I'm super stoked with this. Links in the description below. Thanks to OBSBOT for sponsoring this video. If you did not, thanks for attempting to sponsor it last year when I was deep in my burnout hole. And remember to be kind. Rewind.